I'll just let you find out the more fun way.
No, that means I have to go to YouTube and look.
You could always do it later.
Ah. You know I won't. You know I'm gonna go there right now.
I'll do it for you.
Welcome to Tree Show Pre-Show. Anybody who is here besides us, and I think that's nobody yet, but you know, it's alright.
I mean, Xing. I don't know what it is, but we're doing something.
We're doing that thing that you do on that social media platform.
Yeah.
You are exclaiming what we're doing.
Yeah. Alright. Phone on vibrate.
Really? Really? I am disliking this video for that reason.
What? What is it? Tell me.
Metric tons and bodily fluids.
Oh my gosh, no! You're the worst.
But the only people who know anything about that title are the three of us, because nobody was there for it. So I'll change it for the audio.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like the YouTube videos get a ton of views or anything anyway.
Nope, just me complaining when I don't watch it in time. When I'm not around.
Let's see. We got
That's why I redecorated the Snugpod.
9 views, 21.
I should listen. I should listen to the last thing and like get caught up. Oh, you know what? We'll just go to the YouTube and watch it. Why not? Let's do that. An hour later of you guys trying to figure out where you're going to even host the show, and I'm like, I'm just decorating the Snugpod again. I clearly just have to redecorate the Snugpod. After listening to you two bicker about where you're going to do the show again for like an hour before you actually do the show.
Vashabar is cool, okay?
It is cool. There are.
Couldn't help it.
Alright, so hear me out. When you turn off the NPC volume, we're a podcast. It doesn't matter if the subtitles are still on the screen.
Well, yeah. But I didn't want to see them because they would distract me.
Okay.
That was the problem. They would distract me. Because
What,
all of a
were you
sudden
there?
we'd be
Would
talking
you go
and it would be like
squirrel?
something about prairie dogs in the middle of my screen.
Oh, never mind, not squirrel. Prairie dog. Got it.
Prairie dog.
Wasn't that in the title? Something about prairie dog.
Probably.
I don't remember the
Oh
title.
no, you didn't, did you? Well, okay, let me try and talk. Wow.
Oh, it was Little Pod on the Prairie Dog, I think is what I titled it.
That's what you titled it.
Yeah, Little Pod on the Prairie Dog. People are coming across our titles and thinking, what in the world are they doing? That's okay.
Excuse me. Wow.
It's an MMORPG. Things are meant to be weird. It's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say, there's nothing wrong with that.
I mean,
okay.
I'm a grown man running around as a pretend vampire cat person, you know? So,
honestly, what could be greater?
I mean, being a vampire cat person. I don't know.
Exactly. That's the point.
So as a vampire cat person, can you only drink the blood of mice?
I just realized I'm sitting in between two vampires.
I am not a vampire. I am a werewolf, thank you.
Okay, you're a werewolf like me? Okay, just kidding. I don't know why I thought your character was a vampire. Were you ever a vampire?
I have on that, like, yeah, sometimes. But it's probably because I have on that frost skin, so their skin's kind of, like, extra white.
I think maybe that's what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I just hit Vampire 10, too.
I've never been a vampire. Honestly, I'm a werewolf, and I've never even used that skill tree either.
Oh my god, you need the achievements, though. The achievements.
I know.
I mean, if nothing else, like, just make use of your darn armory and make a, just like a soloing, questing werewolf build.
I don't use as a vampire anymore because you can't turn into a shroud of mist for long periods of time, and that's no fun. That was the only fun point of it. The fun part
Well,
of it.
you can run and turn into a red mist, though.
But it doesn't last as long as it used to.
Yeah.
Well, it lasts while you're sprinting.
You can sprint a long time as a vampire.
I will, however, once we actually get started, because I think it's relevant to the show, voice my opinion about something vampire related.
Okay. Well, I'm ready whenever you are.
I'm going to get my water.
I still have to write a whole other show for tomorrow when we're done here. Ugh, glutton for punishment. It's okay. I'm already like a page in, so.
Oh, you're doing fine.
I'll be okay. Well, tomorrow we have a meeting, and then there's other stuff going on. Errands we gotta run. So I'm just a little nervous about it, but it's fine. Everything's fine.
You're echoing.
Yeah, I think it might be Nevers.
Oh, he set his thing down to get water. Yep, that makes sense.
Yeah. So we're probably hearing it.
I love all the Dawnwood furnishings. They are the best things ever.
I just can't wait for you to actually see it.
I can wait. I'm probably going to be waiting till, like, winter at the earliest. I'm just so busy.
Is that just a time thing? Or,
Yeah.
like, budgetary, too?
No, it's time. It's just
Yeah.
when I play the expansions, I like to just kind of, like, play through the story and still remember the story. So I try to do it in, like, over the span of a week or a month or something.
Yeah. I haven't played it at all yet. I still haven't.
I don't have that guaranteed time right now.
I get that. We got a lurker.
Complete with tentacles.
Nah, she's prettier than that. We have a fox in here.
Oh.
There we go. That was weird. I walked into the kitchen and my headset disconnected. And
Yeah, we could hear ourselves back.
Yeah, because it started playing out of my TV while I was in there. And when I came back and put it back on my headset, there was nothing. So I had to turn the headset off and back on.
Okay, so the corner of my stream right now is... Oops, I'm trying to fix it how it was before. It's really funny. It looks like the Alfiq in the corner is like an audience member watching us.
Good.
Because of how far I have it pulled back.
That's
And
like
you
the
just see-
point. That's why
just-
she's sitting over there.
You just see her and then like the top of a cheese wheel. Like just the edge. Well, hello there. To my other half. Ian says good evening.
Hi, Ian.
Hello.
Alright.
Let's do this.
Let's do this. I'm ready whenever you are.
Freeform, no notes. Let's go. Right? No one made notes.
No one made notes. There's been
Alright.
no
I've
time.
been-
I think we're just going to be chatting mostly anyway.
I've been making notes
Snugpod
for the past
fire.
3 weeks.
Oh, yeah? I don't believe you.
Mental notes.
Yeah, me too.
There it is.
Okay.
Oh my gosh.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to A Snugpod Cast. That's right, we are back. It's been a little while, like 3 or 4 weeks now. I don't even know. I've lost count. But the gang's all here. Well, minus Sasquatch. But, the rest of us are here. So I'm never separate. And I'm joined by my 2 lovely co-hosts, Gwen the Bard. How are you?
Hello. I'm in a tree.
You're in a tree. You're in a tree seat inside of a tree with a tree in it.
Treeception.
And gone crazy back soon. Hello.
Treeception.
Treeception.
Is that what happens at a Bosmer wedding? You go to a treeception afterwards?
It very well could be.
Well, where did that idea just sprout from?
I
Should
don't
we
know.
leave
We
the
should
jokes
we
at
should leave
home?
the jokes at home. Yay!
Or should we branch out for new content?
Oh, yeah.
Yay! A Lotus of Doom! Hey, buddy! Thanks for the lurk. Welcome.
Lurking Lurch.
Wow.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's been a little while. We've had vacations and just needed downtime and other stuff going on. So we've all just kind of took a little time off. And it wasn't necessarily planned for us to be off this long. It just kind of sort of happened. But we didn't go away completely. We're still here. And we thought tonight we would do things a little different. It probably won't feel too different necessarily because we tend to just ramble a lot anyway. But we haven't actually had a chance to just kind of catch up and chat. So we thought we would just do that and, maybe ask some questions of what we've been up to and, things we've seen in the news or whatever, just from mental notes and or other things that we might want to discuss, just from our time playing or not playing or whatever's been going on. So we'll get into some of that, and if you are with us live, be it on Twitch or on YouTube, either one, and would like to ask us a question, feel free to do that, and we'll try to address that as we go. But with that out of the way, it's been the longest since I've talked to you, at least. So, what have you been up to?
Well, I redecorated the Snugpod.
You did. That's quite lovely.
That's about it.
Oh, I guess we'll just leave it alone then. We'll just leave it alone.
Gwen, so short and sweet and to the point. What did you do? Well, decorated the Snugpod. That's it. The end.
Yep, that's why I'm back. I heard you guys rambling for we talked about this in pre-show, but this is important. I heard you guys rambling for an hour before you actually started the show 4 weeks ago, when I was curious what you guys had been up to without me, trying to figure out where you were going to film the show, and I'm just like, well, clearly I just have to come back and fix the Snugpod, so here we are.
Honestly,
Hey.
we need the prairie dog pet for in here, and then we're complete.
No, I want to get a fox now and put it at, the table with the Elfique.
Ooh. Yeah.
Well, you could do one of each, and that's making for a really bad
No,
joke.
I need 2 foxes. That's important. Makes sense.
You're
Does it?
right, because they're always here.
Or do you
Mr.
mean
and
because
Mrs.
do you mean because of 2 wolves and a cat?
What?
Y'all are
No,
both
well,
Well, they
werewolves.
never understood.
No, he didn't get it. We need that, and we technically probably need a watcher.
Oh, I have one of those.
It's because Mrs. and Mr. Ninetails, or just Ninetails and Mrs. Ninetails, like to lurk in our show a lot, and also Lotus lurks every once in a while, and he's lurking right now. So they would be our studio audience.
I thought we were going for the 2 wolves and y'all are both werewolves and I'm a cat. So. Which,
No.
foxes, I
No.
get it. You could use a wolf
No.
pet.
Yeah, I was going to say, we would just use a wolf pet if we were doing that.
Yep.
Plenty of those.
Look, I don't feel well, so my brain's a little cloudy.
It's all right. We'll let it go. We're out of practice.
We are. And I'm eating chocolate oatmeal cookies, so
Of course you are. Are you drinking hot chocolate too?
I am not.
No. You need sap. Tree sap.
Do you have any?
Meth is what we technically need.
You're supposed to be having honey, right? Doesn't that count as like a tree sap thing?
That's technically true. Yeah. It's true.
Put honey in your tea.
There you go.
I just wanted the cookies because my wife made them and they're good. We should have planned that out. We could have totally had those cookies when y'all were here.
Yeah. That's all right. Next time.
So while we were...
In your defense, you didn't really know that when I was arriving.
This is true. And as late as it was, I might have eaten them all before you got here anyway. So that's one of the things that we were up to. I mean, for like a couple of hours or however long it was. We, excuse me, told you, going downhill.
Because you're eating all them cookies.
It's because I've had a scratchy throat all day. But
You're irritating them with cookies instead of drinking honey tea.
yeah, I don't have any honey tea though. Yeah, so we got to hang out in my casa, and
Yeah.
that was fun. Just chilling and watching little dude roll around on the floor and draw dinosaurs and you know
And I met your cats.
yeah, yeah.
Your Alfique that you have running around.
Did you actually see all three? I can't remember.
Yes, because the one was behind the couch and ran, like, darted for its life into your kitchen.
Yeah,
Yep.
yep. Yeah, we have dinosaurs on our fridge now. It's
My husband says, "'Twas a great time."
it was. I had fun.
Yeah, I agree. We did too. We had a great time. I was glad that I got to work it out. You weren't the only one though. So my family and we did a little road trip for our time off, and I went on the tour of MMO buddies. Unfortunately, I missed Gwen. Otherwise, I would have gotten both of you in the same trip. But sadly, things didn't work out. That's okay though, because I've hung with Gwen before. So,
Well, we all
but-
need to hang together at some point. We need to work that out. So
yeah, it's never all of us at the same time. It's just me with one of you or me with the other of you. Like, we
Never,
need to
at this
fix
point, I
this.
think you're the only person who plays this MMO that I haven't met.
Sasquatch.
Fair, but
Yeah.
he's always, yeah.
He's a Sasquatch. He's Bigfoot.
He's
He's,
just
out in the
yeah,
woods. We don't see him
exactly.
anyway.
We're not even
Nobody
sure he
knows he's
exists.
real. That's right. We're not even sure he's real. But yeah, so I did a little road trip, and we were off for a couple weeks, and on the way up to where we were going, we stopped and I saw Jibs. So if you know the the lore seekers that we're a part of, our original founders, Jibs and Cash, I saw Jibs on the way up to where we were going. That was fantastic. Stopped and had dinner with him and hung out. I had met him before, but I only got to see him for a very brief amount of time the last time, so it was nice to kind of like just hang out and chat and eat and just have a nice time with him. And then from there we went and saw Minwei Pro the next day, who's also a lore seeker. Hung out with him for a portion of a day, and then went to where we were going to stay. We were there for a little bit, and then the next person that I fast traveled to was Sunny Ravencourt, who was also a previous lore seeker. He's now part of Lore Forged with Jibs and Cash. So saw him quickly while he was at work, and then that's when I fast traveled to you after that. So I did a little porting around to see some people. I tried to port to Gwen, but she changed zones, so. Yeah, that was it. We had a nice time off. It was like one of those things where it's never long enough, but also you're happy to be home,
Right.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I've been up to outside of the game. In the game, for me, things have been real busy. Obviously, we've been off, but been working on some stuff for Lore Seekers Live, which is actually tomorrow. We haven't done a live show in a long time because in real life I have been working an insane schedule now for a few months, actually. I've been working, like, depending on the week, anywhere from 45 to 60 hours consistently now for a couple months, which is exhausting and doesn't give a whole lot of time for rest or for socializing and doing extra things, within the guild and all of that stuff. So I feel bad because there haven't really been events or anything that I've led because I just haven't been able to. But yeah, other than that, got Gold Road. No spoilers for Gwen. She has not done it, but I also have not done it.
no spoilers for Gwen because, well, I don't know.
Exactly.
no spoilers for Crazy.
Yeah,
Don't know what you don't know.
Exactly. I mean, I do know. So that's a lie. I have done a little. I've done one quest, which was a very prominent quest, I guess you could say.
On
It was
PC
pretty
or
important.
PlayStation?
I have done it on PC, not on PlayStation.
Trader.
Listen, it's because that's
Opportunist.
here we go again.
Opportunist.
Yeah, exactly. It was because I actually did it before we had it on PlayStation, so that's why, right? So I did my one quest
Impatient
over there, and then
trader.
yeah, exactly. Of course I'm impatient. I want to see the new zone.
Never, like, when I meet you, I am gonna just, like, have to take a slipper out of, like, my purse and just whack you with it, like, 20 times or something to make up for all of this nonsense.
Are you gonna do that like mama thing where you like throw
yes.
the slipper at me?
Yeah, no, I can't throw it because I have to, like, repeatedly whack you, like, 20 times just to get out of my system because it's built up.
Oh my gosh. She's going to do that while she's eye rolling over and over and over again.
I will endure it as long as somebody films it to make some peanut butter. I mean a GIF.
Yeah, you darn right I will. I better be there. That's when we're doing it. We're doing it the ESO 2025. But yeah, so I've done one quest. I have actually done most of the scribing intro quest line. It's very good. That's all I'll say about that. I haven't finished it, but I'm pretty sure I kind of know how it ends. Just from actually some research that I'm doing for the show tomorrow. I think that's pretty much it. Other than that, it's White Strikes Mayhem. I've been doing some PvP here and there on both platforms. I know that some might be shocked by what I'm about to say. I have a PvP build.
Wow, you've actually done another build?
I know. It's
Hold
only
on, I
on
was speechless from the electricity from the electrocution there of the shop.
Yeah, it's I only have it on PC so far. I haven't transferred it over because it's probably going to take a little bit of I may change it a little because I probably have certain gear available over here that I didn't have available over there. But it's a 1-bar build, and over there I'm wearing Order's Wrath and Hawk's Eye, which I know is a little bit of an old set, but I wanted to do like a bow ganker. And
Of course, it's a 1-bar bow ganker. I mean, of course.
With Oaken Soul, yeah, it's pretty fun. So for the first time last night, I was running with people on PC, and for the first time last night, I stayed alive and didn't get murdered, and was able to like pull people away from a group, and I did die a lot, but that's okay.
So you need to remake this over here so we can do things now in PvP, please.
Yes, I would love to do that. I just have to have the time, which I haven't had.
Good, the armory station's right there. You can do it while we talk.
During the show, I'll just start making stuff, and people are like, "What?"
The armory station is right there.
You're just hearing blacksmithing noises in the background, like.
Turn off the sounds.
Yeah, I guess I could. But anyway, so that's a bit of what I've been up to. I've done a couple trials since we've been off, but there's nothing really of note from those. So yeah, that's kind of my mental notes, I guess. It's been eventful, but not eventful because there's no time, which sounds really weird, but is true. So, what about you, kitty cat? Other than me hanging out with you and making your life crazy by bringing my whole party to your house.
Yeah, at 10 o'clock at night.
Okay, listen.
Hey, I'm a vamp. It's cool. I'm up late, so.
I was going to say.
That just sounds like she was being courteous because we always film at like 10 o'clock at night.
Yeah,
I was just sticking with the regular schedule.
I was on our normal schedule, and I even offered to do a show with him, but we didn't record anything. We discussed it, but just didn't.
Okay.
Yeah, we mentioned afterwards that we totally missed the opportunity to quiz our spouses on ESO knowledge and have that recorded, but anyway, since they don't play. Although I think little dude might actually be able to answer some questions.
I think he could have.
That was fun. So you said you didn't have time. Well, I don't even have time to explain why I don't have time to explain. which is a Destiny reference. Um, I've kind of been dabbling with Destiny again a little bit lately. Um, I'll get the ESO stuff in a minute. Uh, but uh, I've had buddies at work talking about it, and I've always liked the story. I stopped playing for various reasons, but we've gotten DLCs for free with PlayStation Plus, and the one that we didn't get was on sale for like $3 and something. So I was like, okay, sure, I'll buy that. So I've been playing that a little bit, um, and I've also um, checked out the open beta for Throne and Liberty, and the I was selected as to test out New World also, but I can't talk about that because I'm super special and under NDA and whatnot. Um, so I can't really say
All
anything.
all I want to know is you've at least done it though.
Done what?
Like you've
Played New
played
World?
New World?
Yes, yes,
Okay.
I have.
That's all. That's all I wanted to know. Because
Um,
obviously you're under NDA.
yes. Um, some cool stuff. I'll say that. There was some stuff about Throne and Liberty that I liked. I think moving around in the world is fun. Um, Whenever you sprint, you turn into a wolf. If you jump off of something, you turn into a bird and can fly. If you jump in the water, you turn into an otter. Like, it's just fun. Um, you don't need mounts. You just turn into the thing that, speeds you up. Um, but the combat in that game's weird with the whole auto combat thing. Um, so that would definitely take a lot of getting used to, the whole tab target stuff. But um, I was curious about New World housing, so I looked up a video on that, which was like from last year. So I don't think that's under NDA. That's like existing stuff on PC. Their housing system is kind of weird, um, and you have to pay property taxes if you own stuff in that game. I thought that was interesting. Um, but yeah, so that's been a lot of what my game time has gone towards is just trying those out, and and then dabbling with Destiny a little bit. But ESO wise, I haven't played a ton. I did do one battleground, I think yesterday. Tried to do one the other night, but it wouldn't. I couldn't get in one, and I was ready to get offline. So um, I did one battleground, and just for the daily to get my tickets, um, and I've just been, trying to get on. And I did have to delete the game and reinstall it because, I told y'all the other night that I couldn't get on, and uh, I didn't know if maybe it was downtime or something. Which usually it pops up and tells you it's a maintenance issue. It wouldn't even let me load the app. Um, so I finally, after the next day, it still wouldn't let me. I just deleted it and reinstalled it, and it's worked since. So I don't know if I had a corrupted file or something. Um, but I've been just hopping on to get my logins and uh, collecting the stuff from the hirelings and things like that. But as far as the new stuff, I have finished the scribing quest, um, and I won't get into specifics about the quest itself. I don't want to spoil anything. Um, Aside from saying that the little fox character is pretty cool, um, but the the quest line was okay. But I have to say that I'm a little saddened by the scribing system, just because and I think a lot of people have kind of talked about this too, and I know they're addressing it a little bit, but I don't know that it's gonna be enough to necessarily won't get me to want to engage with it as much. But the limitation on uh, the ink you need to scribe skills. I'm sure once if you play enough and you farm enough, and once you get to a point you have everything, it doesn't matter as much. But it just, that system feels designed to tinker with, and it's not super easy to tinker with if you're not just spending a ton of time, or I guess you can think you could buy those with gold off the traders, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know how much they cost, uh, but I feel like that is something that should be a little more easily attainable. Um, it doesn't necessarily have to be 100% drop rate or anything, but I hear the drop rates are pretty low, and I know some people report having decent drops, but the little bit of time I've spent with it, I don't think I've seen one. Uh, and Go
Okay.
ahead.
No, I finish your thought, and then I'll chime in really quick.
Um, yeah, I hear that they're going to add them to like the login rewards. I know they're adding them into like heavy sacks and stuff like that. Which the thing with that is,
I didn't hear about the login rewards. When was that?
um, that might not
I
have
heard
been in the.
about treasure chests and heavy sacks.
I think it was just something maybe said on the forums. Uh, I came across it somewhere, and I feel like I remember it being a comment from like a Gina or Jess or something. But it might have just been somebody saying that. I don't remember, but that they were looking at adding them into login rewards. Um, so that, I mean that'll be good. That's always nice to just kind of get those things for logging in. But um, the heavy sacks and stuff like that, like you can't farm those as easily as you can resource nodes. They're not as there's just not as many of them. And if the drop rates are what they are on the resource nodes, I mean, if you got to hit 50 plus to get a drop, it's going to take you a while to find 50 heavy sacks. Um,
Well,
so
yeah, but they're also assuming you're not just running around looking for only heavy sacks, right? And if they drop from treasure chests, those are everywhere.
yeah, um, but the big thing is it just seems to be the drop rates are so low, um, that more sources is fine, but the drop rates I feel like probably could come up. But anyway, so that's kind of my take on the scribing system. I want to play around with it more. I've already scribed a few skills, but it's like maybe I want to change one of them, but I don't have enough ink that I really want to spend it yet because I'm like, well, what if I want to do something different? Um, so there's that. And I mentioned earlier that the vampire thing, they have nerfed the mess out of the undead passive.
Hmm.
Have you seen that, Gwen?
Hmm?
Have you seen the change they made to the undeath passive for the vampires?
No. I stopped looking at the vampire after I couldn't turn into a red mist for as long as I wanted anymore.
So
Don't worry, wardens are getting some stuffs though.
let me take a look real quick because I don't think that we've had the change yet. So undeath. Oh yeah, they have. Apparently. So I don't remember what the number used to be, but now the maximum is a 30% damage reduction while you're at stage 3 or higher. And I'm pretty sure that uh, that was like 50% or something at one point. I don't know. It feels like that they've done a lot of things to Vampire over the past couple times they've messed with it that have really kind of made it less desirable.
Mm.
Um, so I did just hit level 10. I think I might have done that possibly after doing that battleground. That might have been what got me there. Um, so now that I have it, I may I may end up just kind of uh, saving it onto an armory build, and then I don't know that I'll even use it because it was kind of fun to use it, as a tank, just to get that extra damage mitigation, and then just kind of have that theme, I guess. But stage 3 and higher, especially stage 4, you have no health recovery. Um, so they lower your damage resistance, and you have no health recovery at those higher stages. It just seems eh. um, so yeah, not super thrilled with that change, but I'm not a high end vampire player or anything anyway. I saw that, and it was a noticeable change that I thought I would bring up.
Wow. Yeah, I don't play a vampire, so you know, I don't know too much about that. I have two things. So one is there are Nightblade changes coming where they are going to be moving around certain skills and changing what they're under.
Oh yeah.
So they're moving like some things to assassination and vice versa, and that way different passives work for different skills and all sorts of things. So if you're a Nightblade, yes, things are still in PTS, but definitely take a peep at that. I'm not going to necessarily go into specifics, but just go look. If you're not a patch notes peruser, I would at least go take a peep. And I think same with wardens and necromancers as well. So, and the other thing I'm going to say is Gwen disappeared. But mine's going to be a hot take on what you were talking about with scribing. I semi-agree with you. So, I think they purely have put the ink drops low because they don't want scribing to make everything so overpowered that they have to do balance passes consistently over and over again. I think that that's one of the reasons behind that. I also think that scribing is kind of intended as almost like an end game thing, just like jewelry was initially. And I'm sure it will adjust as time goes on, but for me, I kind of view that as a end game situation. Also because I think you get more ink out of trials, if I remember correctly, and stuff like that. You have a higher chance of getting inks if you do like the weekly or something. I feel like I could be wrong on that, but I think they intentionally did it to give some of those players that are at endgame or would be earning those faster to be able to have more of an opportunity to change certain things with their build, or to make certain skills different, right? Versus newer players who may still need to learn their play style or may still need to learn their class before they try and scribe and adjust some of those skills or change some of those things. So I think it could be better, but I also think that it's okay that right now it's not... I don't like to say like as accessible because I don't like using that.
Well, even when they were
verbiage.
having the article though, with like earning the horse or whatever, that's done and over with, right? Like,
yeah. And I did.
Anyway,
I actually didn't.
It did say with a level 20 character, so it was level locked.
Yeah. So
it's meant for knowing. So.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess my point is I think that they initially made or are initially making, and this is pure speculation, initially making some of those drops a little lower in certain aspects of the game because they didn't want everybody to rush to it, do it, and then be like, I did it, all done, and then have nothing to work towards. But also, I understand as a more casual player, like for example, I am right now. I barely get time to do everything. I started that questline, I haven't even finished it. So I have not scribed one skill yet on either platform, which on one hand I'm kind of like, oh man, but on the other hand I'm like, that's okay right now. I'm okay because I want to enjoy it when I do get to do it. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe that's a little bit of a hot take. I was also wrong. I'm going to stand here and fully admit it. Never. You were right. You were right about the scribing altars.
Someone clip that.
I was wrong. I can clip it myself. But yeah, it was, I wasn't sure if they were going to do that as a lore thing, but they did. So, well, that's great.
It just makes sense that
you're right,
be a
it
housing
does.
item. It, like...
No, No, I agree with you. I totally agree with you. I guess I didn't think it would happen so soon.
I didn't either. I
That
thought
was
it would be
where
a
I'm
while.
at. I thought it might be like quarter 4. Well, I guess this is quarter 4 technically, isn't it?
Wait, what
Ah.
was the housing update?
Oh. Would you like to know? Okay, so here's the housing update. There's the first thing I'll say is I think they pushed that there was a big housing update coming, and some people were underwhelmed because they already have access to that type of system, but we don't on console. And it is housing tours. So it's basically using the activity finder to list your home. You can favorite up to 100 homes to visit, and you'll be able to add tags to them like creepy, spooky, games, platforming, like things like that, so that it can have people come visit your house. Yeah, I know.
Does it have to be set as your main?
No, it can be
I
any
can
of your
show
homes.
off my nightclub to the world.
Yeah, it can be any of your homes,
Yes.
and people can favorite them, and you can favorite up to like, I think it's like 10 a week or something like that. You can have 100 favorites in total, I think. This is all stuff I'm just trying to remember from my brain, so I apologize to anyone if I'm getting these numbers wrong. But it's basically that. It's that sort of system. Now, with the housing add-ons on PC, people have already had access to that, right? You can use like Beam Me Up or other things to be able to travel to and from houses. So for a
Don't
lot
care.
of the PC,
Give me 2 seconds for being a happy like console player who really,
well,
who really is enjoying this.
and that's what I was gonna say. I think for console players, it felt like much more like, oh my gosh, that's so cool. Or for people that do housing competitions, it was kind of like, wow, this is really great. I'll be able to list my stuff, and people will be able to come visit, and I'm so excited to be able to do that. Versus some other people who are like, that's it. That's all we got. You guys are like putting an activity finder thing in. Great. So I think a lot of people were really hyping themselves up for some big housing change or some big thing like, oh my gosh, we're going to get, I thought that there was a chance they could do like furnishing deconstruction. I wasn't sure if that was on the pike or not. So I
That
think
would
some
have been
people
exciting
were,
too, but I'm very
think
happy.
I think people were expecting something like that. And then when they got this, they were a little underwhelmed, even though it's really not that underwhelming of a feature.
Don't care. Be bitter. I'm happy. You can be bitter in your corner. It's not gonna knock this branch down.
Yeah,
It's gonna bloom over here in happiness. More tree puns.
We'll tell them to
Let's
leave
keep
you
going.
alone.
Yes, they can leaf over. They can go find the compost and just decompose over there.
Yeah, so I think for us it'll be exciting on consoles. I will be curious to kind of know how many people actually utilize it. Like, is it going to be like Activity Finder where people, like, certain people use it a lot and other people don't use it at all? I don't know. So, but yeah, that's basically the housing feature that they were discussing. So, there's other updates as well coming, that are in PTS to be tested now about other aspects of the game. But overall,
I'm gonna burst again. Like, you could have like an entire network of Dark Brotherhoods, player-made Dark Brotherhood sanctuaries, and people could just go to different sanctuaries and stuff.
what if you made a guild that was like that?
It needs to happen.
Like a Dark Brotherhood guild
to happen,
and everybody's house had to be Dark Brotherhood themed, and you could
it's just like
do like Sanctuary 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, dude!
You just have one in every zone.
Sorry, I got so excited I had to cough because my voice got raspy. That's actually a brilliant idea. Kind of like chaining homes together, like within a guild. I'm sure there'll be people that do that. Or like we could chain the Snugpods together, like your pod and my pod.
You'd have to
pod.
weave them together because they're all on the same vine.
Oh yes, that's true. That's true. Also, no spoilers, but if you've been to Vashabar, anybody that's listening, I want those. That's all I'm gonna say. I want those. That's it. Moving on.
Is this rooted in Snugpod somewhere?
Perhaps it does have to do with being rooted and with growing taller. Yeah. And it should come with a free prairie dog. That's all.
Yeah, I'm probably one of those that, well, I am one of those that was a little underwhelmed by that. Uh, I think it's fine. To me, that felt like a quality of life thing,
Yeah.
uh, more so than big new housing feature. It just seemed like, oh, this will make finding stuff easier. So, quality of life. That's just kind of how it felt.
Yeah, but I mean, technically, it's a feature too.
Yeah, I think it just has to do with, you know, the fact that they presented it so early as it was gonna
Mm-hmm.
be big, and I think that just it didn't temper the expectations properly for a lot of people. I do think what you are
Yeah.
talking about now actually sounds really cool. Like that's a great way to utilize that. Um, so yeah, it'll be interesting to see what kind of stuff people do with it. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, I think it's just the expectation part of it. Just with it being like, oh, and in several months from now, we're telling you now we're gonna have this thing. Uh, so people were like looking forward to it for months, and you know, for a lot of people that we're thinking something that they can do in their house to, you know, I don't know, really feel different isn't what they
Yeah.
got.
Walking into the nightclub and potentially having like random players coming in and out of it would indeed feel very different. Like I'm excited for that possibility.
Oh no, I mean
That's cool.
that is um, and that's another like a whole social thing people can start engaging in. Um, I have my house, and depending on how the tags work, if they're preset or if you could put your own, um, if you can label it as something specific and just tell people to search for that, um,
You
then yeah,
can name them. So if people know the name of the home, I think they will be able to search for it.
yeah,
Or the player name as well.
yeah. So that's cool.
Mm-hmm. You know what else that could be utilized for while we're just on the wall of crazy for a second before I mention something else about housing? Um, it means that large guilds where there's a cap on certain types of homes, let's say you're doing a holiday party, it means you could duplicate amongst officers the same space, and then you could have all of your guildmates in a similar space at the same time, or at least a larger majority of them, if it's tagged the same way, or something like that, or named the same thing with a slight adjustment. Um, so that like if you're doing a holiday party, everyone can feel like they're included and not like you're rotating out 10 people at a time every time. We used to have that problem in Lore Seekers with the costume parties and the Halloween parties because we would have like 20 entries, and then when they would come into the house on PCNA, it could only hold, 12 people or something like that. So you'd have to have 12 people go and then take screenshots, and then it would have to cycle again. Or like if we were doing a scavenger hunt, you could only have 10 people in there plus the two people who were judging. And, you know, um, would that be expensive? Absolutely. Are there large guilds that could totally do it because they have lots of gold because they're trade guilds or whatever? For sure. For sure. It might be hard to get it exactly the same, but I think it could be done,
Well,
depending on what build you were doing.
especially if you're same platform and uh, can easily walk in, look around.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I mean, because we did that with the Lore Seekers
Yeah,
original
with the
tavern
tavern.
house,
Mm-hmm.
and it's not an exact 1-to-1, but I think that actually made it kind of neat because it's almost like when you go to like a chain restaurant or something
Mm-hmm.
at different locations, like you could tell they're the same place, but there might be some slight variations in things in the
In the restaurant. Yeah.
yes, and so it kind of had that um, same feel to me. I think in that you walk in, you could go, oh yeah, this definitely is familiar, uh, but maybe that one table over there is a little different, or there's some slight variation in lighting available or something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. There's something else that was announced for housing, and I don't know if you either of you heard it. There's two new houses that are coming that are pretty unique. and one is going to be available for tickets. Do you want me to say, or Gwen, do you want me to not say?
Oh, whatever. We already knew there was going to be a house for quarter 4.
Yeah, so there's 2 coming. There's one called Sea Bloom Villa. This house is the first time that a house has toggleable foliage. So it's in Alinor, and it's the community actually found it before it was announced, funny enough. People were able to like jump over the walls and get in the house and like look around. And so people kind of already had a tip off. They just didn't know what it was. But yeah, you can actually turn off and on the flowers and vines. So like you can turn it off and they like go away, and then you turn it on and they come back, which is really neat. I think that's a pretty cool feature. And then the other one is the Haven of the Five Companions. And this house, they're testing on PTS right now, but it's going to be available for tickets over the multiple quarter 4 events at the end of the year. And it has 5 different rooms, one for each of the 5 companions. So that's something that's also exciting for housing, in my opinion. Because the last house that we got was just kind of an open, right? Was the last one we got the Doomchar plateau?
No, well, okay, for tickets, yes. But technically the last, like, free house we got was the Sword Singer's Redoubt.
Yes, that's true. That is true. So, but for tickets-wise, the last one we got was much more of an open space. Sword Singers is a large house, I think. I think, if I remember correctly, Haven of the Five Companions might be a medium house. That might be a lie. I don't think I remember. And I don't have it written down, but yeah. So
a room for each companion. Now, is that 5th companion you, or is that 5th companion Mini Marco?
It's Mana Marco.
What does Mana Marco's room look like?
I don't know, because I have not actually looked up the home.
Cold Harbor?
Yeah, right. What does it look like? Dead bodies everywhere? I don't know.
Well, he wouldn't be that straightforward, right? Because, like, it's Companion's house.
Yeah.
So you're going to have, like, this is clearly where they were originally doing their thing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, maybe there's, like, a skeleton under the bed, but, like...
Yeah. Well, the really cool thing is I have seen one picture of the outside. And I'm kind of excited because it reminds me of the scroll temples in Cyrodiil. Like, it's that round, like a big round dome. I think with wings coming off of it, so I'm kind of excited about that. Because it's a different style than anything we've seen. But I don't know what the inside looks like what their rooms look like. I have no idea. So, yeah, that's all I had to say about housing. But I'm glad you asked, Gwen. I'm glad that we gave you something to get really excited for since you haven't been here.
So many parties. And maybe some Dark Brotherhood stuff.
Yes.
You should get Caddy in
spread
on
the word of Sithis.
Yeah. Says Hail Sithis as she coughs and leaves.
So, I guess I could have asked this earlier when I brought it up, but I have a semi lore question for you.
Okay.
It's regarding vampires.
Oh boy.
So you haven't done the vampire quest at all, right?
Never.
What?
Exactly.
But Gwen, you have, so you're familiar with the whole the priest of Arche couldn't heal or couldn't reverse the process. And that was kind of how we got to where we're at with vampires now. Yet, if I want to do away with the curse of vampirism, I can go and see a priest of Arche. Isn't that right? Isn't that how you get rid of the curse?
I think it's Arche. I can run outside quick and check. But yes, and I'd go with, well, when you're going through the initial thing and everything, that's the first round of vampirism. And of course, just like regular medicine, they're gonna like get things better over time. So who knows how long ago that first case of vampirism happened versus what they know and how to heal things now.
Yeah, in ESO it says to cure yourself, you just go to the Mages Guild.
Huh. Well, I just thought it was interesting. I got to thinking about
You're right.
the last
Wait.
time the last time I did the quest, and I was like, well, wait a minute.
Just like how there's different strains of vampirism, because like in the future and stuff, and in Skyrim, you can't be cured. That's why it's so important to have your cure disease potions on you.
So, here's the thing. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
And like now in current like ESO and stuff, your eyes glow red, right? Like you get more red eyes, but the more blood you drink, the more normal you look. Well, in like future games, you have black eyes and black and yellow eyes and stuff. So clearly we have different strains going on, which could be different things.
Well, the other thing too is like being a priest of Arche. Being a priest of Arche makes sense because that's god of cycle of birth and death, right? Like, so they're basically like the light divine, I guess you could say. You're saying that what you were asking is specifically that you're told priests of Arche can't cure it, and then this one can?
So, I'm drawing a blank on the name of the first. She was the one that was like ravaged by Molag Bal.
Oh gosh.
That one.
You put me on the spot. Hold on. I can tell you. Give me a second.
So she's essentially, I think, like kind of the first vampire, if I'm not mistaken.
LeMay Balethog. Yeah.
Yeah. So LeMay, when she wakes up and she realizes what she is, she like prays to Arche to have the curse lifted, and she goes to the priests and they can't do anything for her. Yet, and it, maybe it has to do with she's the first. I mean, there's all kind of ways, I guess.
That's what I was just gonna say. I think it's probably because she was the first vampire, and his Molag Bal doesn't ever give anything for free, right? So it would make sense that he would make it. Well, I don't know, like that you can't undo it because it's basically already paid in blood. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But it just struck me. I was like, well, but if I want to be healed, that's exactly what I do. I go see the priest. And
yeah,
they were
that's
useless.
When my brain like jumps to the whole, like if it's a disease, right? Like the first couple cases aren't going to be cured. They're just not. People are going to have problems before that, but later, when things develop and you learn how to work with it, you can cure people.
So is LeMay still around?
No. I don't know. I haven't done that. I would guess so.
With all the other Cold Harbor vampires.
So maybe we just need to go let her know, hey, if you still want to be cured, it turns out they know how to do that now.
Okay, so here's why I bet she can't be cured. She's actually a priestess of Arche.
Yeah, she was. Yep.
Right? So she's the progenitor strain of vampirism. Yes.
That's a big word.
And yeah. Sorry, I'm just reading a bit about her really quick. Avid wielder of necromancy.
So casual conversation turned into dark lore. Here we are.
Yeah.
That's okay.
I think it has to do with the fact that it was basically like a blood pact. Yeah, and she's the progenitor, so it would make sense that nobody can cure her because they don't know anything.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's a reasonable answer. I just thought I would bring it up because I found it interesting.
So yeah, the whole thing was because Molag Bal basically wanted to tell RK to shove off, because RK is the one who holds like power over life and death, essentially. So, yeah, I really think that's what it probably is, but I don't know that deep lore.
Well, it's probably because it wasn't written super deep, and it's
Yeah,
just kind of open to interpretation.
yeah, could be.
All right.
Good question.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry everybody, the stream went a little funky. I forgot, that's a new feature. It's to save bandwidth and all that other stuff. If you don't touch your
Oh my
controller
god,
for
is
a
that
while,
why
it gets...
everything got fuzzy?
Yes. So that's a new thing, because of the 60 FPS or whatever that's standard, like to save, I don't know, whatever it is. It makes it go fuzzy if you're not like using the screen actively. On PC, it will actually go dark.
That's annoying.
Yeah.
But here, I just thought I forgot I didn't take off my glasses or something.
Nope. That's the
Contact
thing.
fell
That's
out.
the thing. It's a thing. So, yeah. I don't know. Is there anything else to talk about? Like, I mean, there was ESO Tavern, but I think we're going to reserve that for when we can get Raymond back on, right?
Yeah. I think so.
Which he did pop into the chat and said that he was popping in and to have a fun stream and that he would listen later because he had to go to work. So,
Okay.
but yeah. I'm trying to think of what else happened while we're off. I don't know.
I mean, there's patch notes and stuff, but that's a whole 4 hour long thing.
Yeah.
I brought up,
especially if you get into some of the passive changes and things that are coming down the pike, that could be a long time.
Yeah. You mentioned the Nightblade changes. Are you looking forward to those?
I'm going to be honest, I haven't really read into them. All I saw is basically what I got out of the context from scrolling through the patch notes very quickly for the other show notes that I was doing was Nightblade has skills that are moving to different places. Check it out, because it means some of your passives are changing.
Yeah.
And that's all I got.
They're moving. One of the, I can't remember which skill it is moving to assassination.
And something else is moving to siphoning, I think.
I think it's something from assassination moving
to
siphoning out. Yeah, because I think it's one of the skills that was in the tank line. Is that siphoning's the tank line, isn't it? Or is it?
Is siphoning technically? Siphoning might technically be the healing line.
It may be. Whichever way it was, that they said that that's the skill was more of a DPS skill. It didn't really need to be there, so they're moving it to assassination. But some of the conversation I saw around it had to do with how that could affect, even certain gear sets and things, passives and, gear sets maybe not yet. I guess now we're getting class specific sets, that could be a thing. But anything that triggers based on like when you use, I guess it's the passives, when you use an assassination skill or whatever, if it's no longer an assassination skill, you don't get that benefit. Yeah,
because that means you would lose your like master assassin and your executioner and your because it would change weapon and spell critical and all that stuff, like what's applying to certain things.
So we won't get into all the patch notes tonight, but there are a lot of things changing if you want to go check those out. So yeah, I don't know that I have anything else. We kind of went on our own little rants about some things. So
yeah,
that was I think all of the mental notes I had made.
Same. I'm just glad you're here with us, Gwen, and you got to come and hang out and do everything.
Yep.
You got any you got any impromptu murder hobo questions? Oh, I wonder if she's got kid aggro. She might.
It is possible.
I bet she does. Oh, that's okay. That's no problemo.
If your character was in this Snugpod, would you steal the cheese wheel and run out? Or would you just simply ask if you could have some? My murder hobo questions aren't near as good.
Oh God. Oh God, no. You murdered it.
Yeah, that's why
I
it's called
disappeared
murder
for
hobo.
2
He murdered
seconds.
the question.
And
See?
I was
Killed it.
not happy with what I came back to hear.
See, I was summoning you.
So,
Wow.
people always run from Stuga. You should really run from Stuga.
I personally feel that there is now someone worse than Stuga. And it's Laramel.
Oh,
She's so annoying.
yeah.
Yeah. You don't have the new chapter, but you'll understand why they say that eventually.
She was already annoying in Necrom.
She's, yeah, it's not fate needs you proxy anymore. Now it's, there you are. And, yeah, that's what I'm gonna leave it at. I won't say her whole line. But anyway.
There you are.
She doesn't run after you. But she does move very quickly around. That's what I'm gonna say about that.
She makes good use of portal magic.
She's obviously loaded in the pockets with gold, because she fast travels.
Laramel,
Yes.
that bad? So you would
Yeah.
not mind if Laramel got nerfed?
I would not mind if Laramel got nerfed.
They nerfed Stuga, right?
Yeah, Stuga stands in one spot now. She doesn't chase you anymore. I'm kind of sad.
Stuga.
The Lore Seekers used to have a
really-
shirt that said, "Run like Stuga is chasing you."
So, you remember when before they released the knowledge of Stuga was gonna be, like, nerfed, and they were initially gonna, like, April's Fool's joke was they were gonna super buff her, where she was gonna be, like, once you accept the
Yes.
accept the quest, she would follow you around and complain until you
forever.
actually went and helped Hrothgar.
Yes.
That would be
Al
amazing.
was so disappointed that wasn't a real article because that's his favorite chapter.
It's just like the Alfique clothes that everybody was super upset about. We're like, wait, you can't actually buy clothes for your cats?
Oh.
What?
Oh.
Everyone,
I have
add
already
it, add it to your
decided,
cart.
Like, I am working on making Jinx a clan mother to Dolly outfit.
Incredible.
It had to happen. I don't know if she'll even let me put it on her, but
If she does,
come on, she could pull it off. We both know she could pull it off.
if she does, can you carry her to conventions?
Oh God, no. She's an agoraphobe.
She literally eats her mic wires during the show, and you want her to take her to conventions?
Put her on a cat leash.
She would be wild.
You just get a cat leash.
No,
We used to do that with
she's-
Scarecrow.
She's a terrified cat. She does not like the idea of going outside. She gets angry when I go outside.
What are you doing? You might not come back. Get back in here.
Meow 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 meow.
You're
meow,
my
meow, meow,
food
meow.
source.
Yeah, that's probably accurate. If you don't come back,
Yeah,
I
that
won't
human
eat.
messed up my food while you were gone. Meow meow meow.
I've been going to the bathroom.
Oh God.
Before we devolve.
Before we devolve, we're ending this. Okay. So you needed no more nerd or hobo questions.
Yeah.
Is that where we were before when I came back in? You were trying to come up with some.
Well,
I
she
just
asked you
if you
had
had an impromptu one. Yeah.
Keep talking. I'll think of something.
Okay, so back to the cheese wheel. Would I steal it? Or would I ask for a piece? Because it's Gwen, I would ask for a piece. But if I was in someone else's Snugpod, I might consider just sneaking a little, because I'm a Nightblade, so I could just cloak and leave. And if it was the shivering cheese, I would definitely steal it because that thing's worth some stuff.
Well, if it were me and I was in somebody else's snug pod, I would just piece by piece when they weren't looking, lift it up and dig out from the middle and eat some, and then I wouldn't have to steal the whole thing. But when they go to pick it up later, why is this so light? And they realize it's been eaten from the bottom side.
Or you could turn it into Swiss cheese. You could just cut circles out with your claws.
Could.
And then take pieces out, and that's like little... then they just wouldn't know if they had Swiss cheese or like a regular cheese wheel.
But if I was...
I would double question my cheese.
If I were in Gwen's snug pod, I would paint it like an eyeball and roll it around on the floor and say, "Look, it's Gwen's eye." You know, because the eyes roll.
Oh my god. Oh wow. Oh wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow. That was bad. You should leave that one alone.
Okay.
As he runs out of the photo. Get back here. Sit down. We're not done. We got to do outros. After Gwen maybe thinks of something.
I can't. That was painful.
Yeah.
I got psychic damage.
Don't even bother. We're debuffed now. There's a debuff placed on us, and it's called Khajiit jokes. It's just as bad as the Wood Elf jokes book.
Yeah. They should let me write that one.
It's a good thing you don't have the guide to kick a Khajiit in here.
The Wood Elf jokes book isn't a book. It's a leaflet.
Oh no! That's so bad.
Yeah. If these jokes keep going this way, this cat's gonna have to flee.
Is that what I've been feeling on my arm?
Maybe.
Wow. Jeez.
There totally needs to be a Khajiit scratching emote. If there's not, I haven't looked. There might be. There should be.
There's a preening emote.
Yep, there is.
Yep.
A what?
A preening, like a Khajiit preening emote, where you like
lick yourself and like clean yourself.
comb
that thing.
your hair.
Yeah, no.
Comb your hair.
There needs to be like gets down and like picks up the back leg to scratch behind the ear kind of thing.
But you're like a humanoid cat.
So that would make it all that much better.
It would look. The animation on that would be so odd on the character model. It's a no from me.
Oh my gosh.
It's a no from me.
It would glitch so much. Like
You'd just see
think
people
of your
running around with
regular
legs like above their
Bethesda
head.
generations for that. Like it would
It's a
be
feature.
ridiculous. Yeah.
I would totally do it.
We know you would. You'd be sitting here doing it right now.
Yeah.
You weirdo.
Yeah. Did you have a question, Gwen? Did you come up with one?
No. I tried. I've been gone so long. I need to think about it.
Okay, that's fair. That's why I said your questions are always better because you put more thought into them. I just threw some nonsense out. So,
Wow.
yeah. All right. Well, I guess we'll wrap up then. But this was fun. We didn't need notes, and we still ended up with, over an hour on the show. Mm-hmm. So, hopefully anybody that is listening or has listened or does listen in the future or whatever, hopefully it was a good time. It was fun for me. I just missed hanging out and wanted to catch up, so I thought that would be kind of fun. So a little different. We didn't have as much structure. Not that we're ever fully structured anyway, but yeah. So if you guys want to get in touch with us, you can do so. We've got them social media things that you can reach out to us on. The platform formerly known as Little Bluebird. You can get us there at Snugpod Cast. If you want to clickety clack in a longer form, I think there's an email thing, right?
Yep. snugpodcast@gmail.com.
In about 11 months or so, I'll check that. Um, and what else we got?
A Twitter, an email, and a Twitch, and a YouTube. Because if you're here with us, we've had quite a few people in like lurking or in chat, at least on Twitch anyway. So that's been fantastic. Thanks to everybody that is lurking or here. We know we record really at odd hours for some U.S. folk. Yeah, you can follow us on twitch.tv/snugpodcast, or you can search for Snug Podcast on YouTube if you want to watch it over there. Kind of fun because we get two different views. Because you get Never's view on YouTube and you get my view on Twitch. Yep.
Yeah. And
the show is actually slightly different.
If you want to listen, you can do that too. Just go to your podcast apps and search Snug Podcast. You should find us.
Yeah.
I have the option to put our feed into other podcast things, but I don't know how necessary that is because the analytics show that ones that I didn't specifically put our stuff into are pulling us anyway. So I don't know. But anyway, the major ones have it. If you know, Spotify, of course, is probably the big one for a lot of people, or Apple Podcasts. We're on those. And if you were using Google Podcast, you can just use the Google YouTube Music app for podcast, and it's in there now. So, yeah. So, if you want to go check us out, that would be great. We've got 92 episodes before this, 92 numbered episodes. There might be a couple that aren't numbered also that were just like, we didn't know what to call them, and we didn't really list them as one of the regular numbered episodes, I think. So we might have like 94, 95 by now, but getting close to 100. And so a lot of stuff for you to go catch up on if you're new and you know, want to dig back through that library. But thanks for hanging out with us. And if you want to join a guild and hang out with people like us or us, you can do that. We're part of the Lore Seekers Guild, as we've mentioned. And you'll need Discord. Download Discord. And go to loreseekers.club. I don't have that in front of me. Is that right?
Yep. Yes. Sorry,
Okay.
I was muted because I was doing something else. Yes, you can go to loreseekers.club, and from there you can get the access to our Discord. Once you have that, then you just go into our Apply to Guild channel. It's a quick /apply or a little pull down menu now, and then it'll send you a private message or a DM of the questions for joining the guild. And hopefully, as long as you're not a troll or a big old meanie, and your gameplay, you know, thoughts, style, what you're interested in, match us over in the Lore Seekers, then we'll have you be part of the fam and get you all added to whatever platform you want to join. So things have been a little quiet off and on, just being completely honest. I think a lot of people had summer plans. Gold Road dropped, it was busy, and then now we're in a little bit of a lull again. So that's to be expected. There's been some, you know, big titles being tested and in betas and alphas and other MMOs and all sorts of things. So it doesn't surprise me at all, but we're still here and we're just trucking along. And you know, so even if you're a person that's like, I'm not actively playing right now, but you want to come be in our Discord, you're more than welcome to. We love to talk lore and we love to meet new people and welcome them into the family. So please, you know, head on over. I have one more thing to announce. This is actually breaking news. We're the first people to mention this because I was going to mention it tomorrow. But we have a multi-platform event in the works right now. Actually, we're just finalizing a couple steps with the person that's hosting it and came up with it. But if you've ever heard of the game show Actually, or like I think it might be YouTube Shorts technically, one of our guild members has come up with some lore stuff about the game, and it's not quite right. So you have to say, like, actually, it's this. So stay tuned for that if you're in the Discord and you're in the guild. I believe that there is Luminous Ink, at least on PC, for a prize, and then we're working on finalizing things on some of the other platforms for people. So yeah, it's sponsored by one of our PCNA members, but it's going to be open to everybody because it's technically a Discord event, not an in-game event.
I was about to say, my money's on the PC EU people. Like,
Heck yeah.
I will rep PlayStation NA as hard as I can, but my money's on the PC EU people.
I know. There are
They
some straight up moth priests over there.
Yeah,
like, even one of the questions that he sent as a preview question, I was reading it earlier and I was like, I got nothing. So I think for some people there's probably going to be some stuff that it's like, huh? And then other things that might be a little bit more, easily known. So if you're interested in that, keep an eye out. There should be an announcement going out with a graphic soon over the next few days in our Discord, or the next week or so as an announcement. And I believe it's going to be 2 Sundays from now. So that way it avoids a Lore Seekers live show, and it also avoids the Lore Tavern that we usually do with Aramithius at the end of the month. So I think that's the plan.
Do we know what the Lore Tavern is this month? Or next
It's
month?
still, we're finishing Lessons of Vivek. We're so close. That's a lie. I don't think we're that close. I don't know, because I've missed the last 2 of them due to scheduling and due to me working. I want to say we're probably on like sermon. We're in the 20s somewhere.
Okay.
For sure.
Probably still like 27, 28 or something.
Of the 36 lessons. But also I think that these, I have not read all the Lessons of Vivek, so I don't know exactly how chunky some of those last ones are. In terms of content. There's a few that were very short and we kind of went through them quickly, and then there were some that we spent like 3 hours on. But yes, we are still doing Lessons of Vivek. I think the plan after that I had discussed with Aramithius at some point was to talk about either some creation lore or Athelia, because by then, once we're done with the Lessons of Vivek, a lot of people will have probably played Gold Road, or at least have been exposed to it. So, I think that was one of the considerations, but I'm not exactly sure what we have in mind yet for afterwards.
You make that sound very, like, you say it, yeah, by then, thinking it's only not too long, it's going to be really soon, but at the same time, we only do a Lore Tavern once a month.
Yeah, like once a month, yeah.
Once a month, if it works out.
Mm-hmm.
And we're coming close to the end of the year in those terms.
Yeah. No, you're right, because
So
we had a couple months where we had to push back because of either Aramithius' schedule or us.
It's very reasonable to say Athelia next.
Yeah. Yeah. So we shall see. But that's the only other thing I had to add.
All
I'm
right.
going to put pumpkins over these lights for the actual October.
Wow, I love that. We do have some events, since we were talking about events, typically for us on PlayStation. It's been a little quiet lately, though, because get well soon, Moki. She has been healing up from some surgery stuff, so I know that event has been happening here and there, but, we may not always have an event going on certain days, every day during the week or whatever right now, but especially since things are a little bit slower. But we usually have Mondays with Moki, which is fishing or Cyrodiil or achievements or basically whatever anybody wants to do on that day. She's been a champion at helping lead it, and I know, Gwen, you used to do those a lot too on Mondays, right? So,
I'm nodding, but yes.
Yes. So we have Mondays with Moki. We have our Treacherous Tuesday, which is where we use that as a reminder of, hey, group up with some fellow guildies, do a lore run, have an awesome time, work on achievements, do whatever you want. There's no formal sign up for that. There is a sign up in Discord, but it's more so for kind of a looking for group. situation, and then also what role you would want to fill. And then we have our Fearless Fridays with Athuria Dragoon, which is where you do the Undaunted Daily Delve and
Undaunted.
Undaunted.
Undaunted. We are
We
Undaunted.
are Undaunted. I missed that.
It's like a sleeper agent. You said undaunted and automatically.
Yeah, you're just like undaunted. I loved it. So yeah, we do the daily delves and dungeons. The only requirement, I think, is that you have to be, like level 10 or something. I don't know. Maybe that's for Cyrodiil, but yeah, you can bring a leveling toon, you can bring your normal toon, you can do vet, you can do regular, you can do whatever you want with your group as needed. But it specifically focuses on Undaunted stuff, usually on that day. Is that it? I think that's all the guild announcements for events right now.
I think so. I completely forgot about the events.
Yeah, no, that's it.
That's okay. Yeah, and more multi-platform stuff hopefully coming soon, but also, like I said at the beginning of the show, I have been working insane amounts of hours. But Toasted Peanut and I did have some things planned. It's just getting them in motion and having us be available to be able to help facilitate running them. So, yeah. I got nothing else.
All right. Gwen, do you have anything else?
Nope.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us. And I think as of now, the plan is to get back into the routine, try to get going weekly. Mm-hmm. But, life finds a way. But,
Rawr.
Yeah. Just go ask my refrigerator. There's 5 of them. But, yeah, so hopefully we'll be back next week and we'll talk some more ESO stuff. We might even actually have notes next time. And yeah, so until then, take care of yourself, take care of others, be a decent person, and we'll see you later.
Bye.
He doesn't have 5 refrigerators. He has 5 dinosaurs. Sleep well, Tamriel.